How's it going? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'm going to be giving you some tips on installing a pattern carpet on a set of steps. So the first thing I want to point out is always, without a doubt, you want to center up your pattern on the steps. If you'll notice right here, I have found my pattern, the main visual about this, which is right here. The center of this point is absolutely centered of the carpet. So we got 15 inches there and 15 inches there. So what I did, I centered this pattern, and that not only is it going to keep your carpet centered, but on the edges you're going to have the same pattern running up the sides of the walls. It's going to be nice, balanced, centered. Everything is going to look on point as it should be. Now there is one thing that you're not going to be able to do. For instance, at the top of the steps, we have also installed this carpet. Now if it's running down over the top step, obviously you have to run it with that so that it matches up with the hallway. Never fun when you have to do that, because then you have no control over what is going to go on with your pattern steps. However, if you are installing a pattern carpet in a house, most of the time your hallway is going to be your first piece installed. So with that being said, you do have some control over it. If you're thinking ahead, say, okay, now I'm going to shift this hallway back and forth a little bit and get my steps so that it runs. I'm going to make sure this pattern falls center of the steps when I'm adjusting my hallway so that my steps can be centered. So if you're thinking far enough in advance, you can adjust your hallway piece to make that fly. Now, if your hallway is running the opposite direction, it don't really matter. But if it is running where it's going down the steps, again, your hallway on a pattern carpet is usually your first piece installed. That way you can match up the rooms all around it to the main center piece of the house. Okay, that is tip number one. Tip number two, you're going to want to do one step at a time when you're working with a pattern carpet. I'm going to get into that right now. Okay, I'm going to show you the difference, and if you just run one piece all the way up the stairs, and then I'll show you what it looks like running the carpet one step at a time, and the difference it makes in keeping the pattern matched to a T. Okay, so I've got both my sides row cut, and with that I squared off my bottom edge. That way I can put my carpet on here and line the bottom edge with the tack strip on the bottom of the floor, and then I know everything is going to be nice and square. I just want to secure this off, that way when I kick it, it don't come off my strip. Now that I've got that done, we're going to go ahead and install this step, and then I want to show you how the pattern looks if you run it directly up the steps. Okay? This is simply a patterned carpet tip video on steps, okay? So I'm going to not mention a whole lot of stuff about the actual install. I'm simply giving you some tips on how to make your pattern carpet really shine and really look professional. Okay, we now got it stretched up there, so now that we got it stretched up, we're going to go ahead and take and crease it and crevice it right down in the crotch there. Get us a nice line there. That's the main thing. Well, I shouldn't say the main thing, but that's one of the main things. Say that we want to have consistent is a nice straight line right here in the crotch of the steps. We want that to be crispy clean. That's why a lot of people will say I'm silly and I'm crazy for using tack strip spacers, but that keeps your line right here in the crotch absolutely crisp, clean, tight, consistent, everything, because your tack strip is on there perfect, okay? So anything to make your job better is not ridiculous, it's not silly, it's not wasting time, because it's improving your work, which should be what a person strives for on every job, is to do the best that they can on every job. Okay, this is a profession. It is the way of making money. It's your career. It's your profession. You should want to do the best you can on every job. Take it serious. We're not in high school doing a side job for the summer. This is our career. We should want to do our absolute best. And if you do carpet or flooring for a living, you have chosen that. Free will, okay? So, regret your choice or not, you are doing it. So do the best you can, and it will pay off. I promise. Just want to make sure it's all the way down in the crotch, all the way across, or else you're going to end up getting it crooked. If you're not running your stair tool till it bottoms out in the crotch completely all the way across your step, it's going to start running crooked, and then you're going to have to straighten it up at one point or another. That goes for all carpet, not just pattern carpet. Pattern carpet, you're going to run your steps one at a time anyway, and I'm going to show you that right now. Okay, so this is it. This is absolutely one piece running right up the next step. And I want to point something out here. Absolutely no cut or anything, so your pattern should be dead on, correct? Well, look at that, okay? Does that look like it's dead on? Yeah, it may match. I mean, the lines here and here, here and here, to an extent. Yes, it does match. Looky here, and then it runs right up around there. But I want to show you something, okay? Okay, so what I'm going to do to demonstrate here, I have a Sharpie, and I'm going to take and I'm just going to draw a line right there. One line, that way it touches both the riser and the tread at one time, okay? So you'll see exactly what I'm doing here. This is going to touch the riser and the tread all at one time. It's just one consecutive line all the way across there, okay? You see that black line I just drew there? Now this is the kicker, okay? This is what's going to prove my point right here. All right, I got my line there. I'm going to go ahead and tear this off. And then I want to show you something here. So now, that one line now has turned into two lines because, like I said, I run it on both pieces all at once, okay? I want to show you something about that, all right? Let me come in close here again. Okay, so we had this much right here in the gully between the tack strip, okay? So was that pattern matched up or was it not? Well, I want to show you right here. I want you to look at that. We had 1 inch of the pattern missing from the tread to the riser. So there's 1 inch, okay? What's in that 1 inch? Look at all these markings. Look at all of this. You got your loops here. This much of these straight lines, your loops here, your loops, a whole bunch is missing in 1 inch. So it looks like somebody just cut your pattern 1 inch short. That's the disadvantage of running a pattern carpet all the way up the steps without cutting one step at a time, okay? Now I'm going to do it one step at a time, and I'm going to show you exactly what it looks like, okay? I'll show you that 1 inch absolutely matters, okay? Okay, so I now have this bottom step installed. Once again, we're now fixing to cut our next step right here and apply it, and this will definitely show the difference of installing one step at a time versus running it all the way up at one time. Now, to get our cut point on our next step, I want to take from this point right here, just any random point that's identifiable. We could go by this point, here or the bottom point. We could go from where it meets here. Anywhere you choose is fine. Just a notable point on the steps to get a measurement from, okay? I'm going to go from this point right here on the bottom center piece because I like to work everything centered. So I'm going to go, this is the center, okay? Right here to the tack strip. That's going to let me know exactly where I need to cut my next piece, okay? So to my tack strip, to the edge of that pattern is 4.5 inches. All right. Okay, this is my center point. Again, this is where I measured from. So once again, I'm going to go 4.5 inches from this point up, and that's where I'm going to make my cut. So first off, I want to get a little reference point so I can flip this over and straight edge it. Alrighty, so we're going to need to allow just a little bit of tucking in that gully when we start to install this next piece, okay? So rather than going exactly 4.5, I'm actually going to allow maybe a 1/4 inch just to tuck down in there. So I'm actually going to go 4.25 because a 1/4 inch of that is going to disappear in the crotch, okay? This is going to get our pattern absolutely dead on, okay? So 4.25 is where we're going to go at. I'm just going to put me one little cut right there, and I can flip this over and put my square edge on it. Let me find my cut. Right there it is, right there. So now, so what happens here, you might say, well, you know what, look at the waste of that versus running this piece directly on up. You're wasting this much. You know what, you're right. You are exactly right. But when you get those clients that want it perfect and they don't care what the cost is, they just want a super nice set of steps. They don't know it, but they're going to expect you to do this. They're going to expect you to get it on point. So they don't know nothing about carpet. They don't know how much it's going to take. They don't know anything about that. You are the professional. You measure it, bid it, and figure it how it needs to go every time. So the thing is about this, one extra pattern per step, okay? That's going to give you plenty of carpet. See here? See what I wasted right there? This has a 12.5 inch pattern to this carpet. And well, this is 10 inches, but we also cut a little bit off of that. So you'll see we waste exactly one pattern. See that? That's 12, it's right at 12 inches is what we wasted right there. But nonetheless, one pattern per step is wasted. So if you have a pattern that's 18 inches or 3 foot or something like that, you could be wasting a whole bunch of carpet. But those steps are going to be dead on. Your client is going to be super happy with the job when it's all said and done. All right, now let's place this on the steps. All right, so here we go. I'm going to go ahead and place this on there. And if we're looking at these steps, looking at the pattern here and here, it's going to be freaking beautiful. You'll see how nice this is actually going to match up. It is going to be on point, my friend. On freaking point. Check this out. All stuck, ready to go with that. I'm going to bring you in, let you take a look at this pattern. Okay, so what I did, I went ahead and I kicked this step onto, tucked it in the crotch, just as one consistent piece, just like I did this. That way we could have that one and that one, which is separately done, side by side, so we can compare, okay? Now, this is the one right here. You might be able to see it better like this. This is the one that I cut and done separately. Everything is dead on with that step. It's absolutely beautiful. Our curve goes right on around. All of our circles join right back up. They're freaking beautiful. Now, check this out up here. Look at the void. Again, we got about 1 inch of carpet missing right there. So, I mean, it don't even look like it's matched up at all. Again, look how small it is right here going into the crotch, and then look how big it is coming out of the crotch. So the difference is clear as. And you know what I'm saying. The difference is like night and day. That does not compare at all to this when it comes to quality, okay? One step at a time, my friend, is how you're going to get absolutely beautiful results. Okay, I hope this helps. I hope this will help you out on your next job. You know what? Yeah, can you do this all the time? No, you cannot do this all the time. Some people want a nice carpet, but they don't have the money to spend on extra stuff. They just want a nice carpet. But you are going to get those clients that are like, I want it right. I don't care what. So those are the ones you're going to figure one extra pattern per step, okay? Don't worry about any of the nonsense. Running it all one piece. You're getting paid good. You're dealing with pattern carpet on steps. You should be getting paid good. Do it right. It's more work to do one step at a time, by all means, than it is to cut a 20-foot piece and run it all up every single step all in one. But you're not going to get results like this right here by doing that. I guarantee it. I proved it right here. Okay? I proved it. You're not going to get the results that somebody wanting a beautiful set of steps done, you're not going to get the beautiful results. Right here is the proof. Maybe this will help. One extra pattern per step is what you need to do this. Thank you guys for tuning in to the channel. Until next time, FBSB's out.